Hey guys, so on April 7th, it's the 15th anniversary of the genocide in Rwanda. And I really don't want to spend a whole video talking about exactly the whole details of the genocide, because as you can imagine, it's not very pretty. I do want to promote the project that the HP Alliance and John and Hank Green are promoting. Oh, I'm promoting a project they're promoting apparently. But, so there's this project, and it's lighting a candle of hope for Rwanda. And I don't know, like this is kind of weird, but I feel really strongly about the genocide, and I don't know, this probably doesn't sound very good, but I find it really fascinating, and I find it really sad too that the United Nations and the US really kind of pretty much just abandoned Rwanda to these horrible deaths, just millions and millions of people in 100 days. And that's what most people focus on, there is also the fact that even after those 100 days in 1994, in April and May, nothing really was solved until around, like, the turn of the century, like, the new millennium. Like, and even, I mean, it isn't even now, but I mean, there was still a lot of fighting going on between the Hutus and Tutsis after the genocide, which is what everyone focuses on. I've been trying to write a book about it, a narrative obviously, because I wasn't there, so I don't really have the facts. It's kind of not going anywhere anymore. I don't know, I mean, my stepmom gave it to some people who lived in Africa and they thought I was African, which obviously I'm not, but it was pretty cool. I guess I'll post the link to the, like, 6 or 7 chapters maybe my story I've written so far. And maybe if you guys leave me comments or something, then I will be motivated to keep writing. But in case any of you who actually watch these videos are interested, I have several books to share with you that I own about Rwanda. The Rwanda Crisis, History of a Genocide. I mean, I guess to not exciting more because it's really written as like a history textbook sort of thing, not so much as a narrative, but it's still like, it's really factual and it's really well written. And then Justice on the Grass. I actually have to admit I'm about halfway through this one. John and Hank Green read this the first book club book. It's We wish to inform you that tomorrow we will be killed with our families. And yes, it is as good as its name is long. It's like I told my stepmom I wanted to buy this book and she's like, well, that sounds pleasant. And it's not, obviously. It's a genocide. But it's stories from survivors and stories about places where people died, all the churches and everything. And Philip Gorovich is another very, very good journalist, and it's really well written. An Ordinary Man, which is about Paul Rusesabagina. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but he was actually the man who inspired the movie Hotel Rwanda. So this is a story of basically everything that actually really happened at his hotel in that span of days. Because obviously the movie is pretty close, but it's not completely factual because it's not from him. Thousand Hills, which is about the current president of Rwanda. Like I guess it's sort of a biography of him as well as a history of the genocide. But it was the one that I read the fastest and got the most into. So I guess, I mean, this is probably one of the ones I'd recommend the most if you're interested but don't want to read a bazillion books like I do. Anyway, this video is kind of long already, but I just wanted to remind you to please do light a candle of hope for Rwanda, because it's one of the things that doesn't get nearly as much attention as it should. It was 15 years ago, but the country's still healing, and the country's still remembering, and we can't forget what happened there, or it'll just happen all over again. So please, please, I'll post a link to both HP Alliance and John and Hank Green videos, which you can post a video response to in the sidebar.